All righty here. Digital marketing trends. Hello, my name is Derek Freund, Rogue Marketing Systems, speaking to you from high atop my second floor mastermind hideout. Appreciate everybody being here today. You are going to get more than your money's worth today. I've got a quick warm up here to do and some facts and figures and things that will be able to help you project your business further into the future so you will, in most cases, catch up with the curve and be right where you need to be. My business is Rogue Marketing Systems. We are a direct response marketing firm working at generating leads. Specifically, I speak for constant contact. My information is right here. Really want to inspire everybody here to surround yourself with those who are on the same team. Part of the work environment, and I've had so many great leaders and sources of inspiration that part of our theme is the rhythms and rhymes and the soundtrack of our lives. Matter of fact, that was part of the hold up this morning. We were supposed to have some really cool music queued up there, so you'll hear that in other of our recordings here. And the environment that I'm speaking to you from is my second floor office here. When I'm not out speaking, I'm writing, I'm creating content, I'm doing webinars, I'm speaking with wonderful people like you. There's never been in the whole history of the world a moment like we have right now with the great energetic people that are here. Some of you are familiar with my speaking, my engagement. Some of you it's new, so please welcome. I know we have some questions. We may be able to get to them. If not, I just looked in the prep time here. There's 74 slides, and I've got a little under an hour to do that. So this is going to be like a rolling movie. My producer wanted me to share, if you enjoy this experience and you are an independent marketer, please go to our website. In a few days, we have another webinar called The Reckoning. Now, this is not specifically about digital marketing. This is about the 5 irrefutable pillars of marketing that every marketer must understand. There's a process, there's a recipe. If you're baking bread, you got to have flour or some version of that. You must have something to rise like yeast, etc. You must put heat to it for this chemical reaction. In marketing, there are similar formulas that need to be followed, and they're readily available once you know what to look for. I want to offer you a promise. Today you will have the opportunity to forever change the way you think and profit from marketing. And we put our money where our mouth is. You'll have an opportunity to receive a free digital ebook edition of one of my books. I know this is available on our website. The Ultimate Success Secret, a couple of the other ones are available. Let us know what we can do for you. We didn't advertise these ahead of time, but I did want to make some big promises and deliver even more. I come from an athletic background here, teamwork and effort. This is a CrossFit competition here, a couples competition. This is really cool. But see, I have an advantage. I have this unfair advantage. I'm about twice the age of these kids here, and so I've been working at it longer. And if I haven't been doing that, I work harder. I get up early and I work harder for them, my team, and for you. I've been marketing professionally in public speaking for about 20 years and love the classics. You know, there's new things in terms of digital marketing, but there's really not much new under the sun. And I had an old guy in a lesson a few years ago, and he came up and he says, you know, Derek, why should I listen to you about new and different marketing strategies? I'm paraphrasing him, but it's like, what makes you qualified? Well, I am a public speaker. I own my own business. Although probably a third of the people we work with are nonprofits and institutions, more than half our clientele are self-employed, where I report directly to the business owner. And this information, these resources must work in the real world jungle. This isn't an academic environment. I'm not operating in a cubicle somewhere, and that's great for technical support, but this material must work. It has worked, and it's worked for years, and we're willing to prove it. Direct response marketing as we do it and digital marketing as we train has been published in Inc. magazine, the Harvard Business Review, Cranes, etc. Part of my story, I grew up, and I didn't teach myself to read by candlelight. This picture is funny. I graduated from high school in 1985, and there were color pictures there, but this particular sales award newsletter was in black and white. And then this is from about 20 years ago when I first started my consulting business in the basement of, I think, our second home. So we've come a long way. Mentors and motivators are very, very important. Uh, Learning through trial and error, the school of hard knocks is valuable, but we all benefit by learning from others. And I have had probably more than my share. If you have one or two in your life, that's fantastic. And these people can be inspiring. I've learned from Bill Glazer, Dan Kennedy, Ron Cates, who is one of the grandfathers of email marketing and forefathers of social media marketing. He recruited me into this business. By the way, I am not a technical geek. If you are, that's fantastic. These ideas may come easier to you, but I am not. I am more of a creative person. So if you've ever been intimidated by, I can say that, right? We're all friends, intimidated by digital media or marketing. I understand. I feel your pain. I've been there, but it's not that complicated. It is, you think of how our parents or our grandparents or great grandparents, depending on your age, adapted from AM radio to FM radio or TV or UHS to video. Those words were intimidating for people at the time, but eventually we adapted, and it's a big deal. AM, FM radio, uh, streaming, broadcast, it's all media. I have a guarantee during my presentation today, you will have the opportunity, if you respond today or tomorrow, to receive over $300 worth of applied material services, in some cases where we actually do the work for you. If you've come to a juggernaut and you need some heavy lifting or something done or moved or a link open, we can do that for you. Let us know. Be a marketer. Constant Contact, many of you are already Constant Contact subscribers. If you're not, you probably should be. But in its essence, Constant Contact is a third-party email software provider. If you are sending any emails in quantities mass, meaning like more than two, you need a third-party provider. Constant Contact is not the only one. There's any number of other very, very good ones. I speak and represent. This information is essentially usable under different platforms, but our customer service is fantastic. It's a platform I've been speaking on and training since 2010, which means I got into the digital relatively late in life, but it gives us hundreds of seminars and experience and clients that we work with just from my company. So we recommend it. It's one source, one platform for you to be able to access your digital communications. And email is an important component, but social media, video, email, et cetera, et cetera. By the way, at the end of the day, very few of you are pure digital marketers. So we can talk about digital marketing, but that doesn't mean you don't at some point get on the phone with somebody or see them face to face or have a relationship. These tools are just methods of leveraging the media so that you are more effective in a high-tech, high-touch environment. Here's what we're looking at. It doesn't matter where you are today. You have to pay attention to the digital marketing trends. Do not be intimidated by the language any more than your grandfather would have been intimidated by FM radio. And I don't even know what FM, frequency modulation, and AM is amplitude modulation. It's not important. It's like carburetors are no longer in cars. We drive them just fine. Digital marketing is action. Digital marketing is communication. We see it everywhere that we are at, and we want to show you great ways to be able to leverage this. If you've ever bought print media, you know, oh, you typically still, even now, may pay extra for color. You will pay extra for something that's expedited and printed faster. I mean, now things happen so fast, it may be 2 or 3 days, but if you want it done the next day, you pay a premium. These are all things you don't pay a premium for in this type of environment. It's already a cost of fractions and fractions of a penny, and it's just the knowledge. So I compliment you for being here to get the knowledge to do this. And digital marketing tools are available for businesses. You have wonderful resources. I hope to be one of them for you. But companies that are investing time and energy because they see this is the trend. You see email marketing, you see Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram. Don't worry, kids, there's going to have more of them out there. And here's what we're seeing here. In 2016, digital marketing, you have to be there. Content marketing is very important. Now, we will talk about content and how you have plenty of content. If you've been involved in your business or profession more than 60 or 80 days, or if you've been just licensed, you have more content, more information to share already at your fingertips to satisfy a lifetime of what your prospects will need. It's just a matter of chunking it down in valuable information. I mean, think how many recipe books out there or repair manuals. That this probably not your business, but my point is people constantly need to be taught and retaught, repurposed, and shared information. Targeting and segmentation, mobile experience, what's happening in this mobile advice. There's some people out there, by the way, oh, mobile optimization. It doesn't cost extra to do this. It's just doing the right click. So don't have anybody charge you extra to do this. You just need to know which buttons to push. Beyond big data and making decisions. Digital marketing, it's being there. It's being where your best prospects are. Now, if your best prospects aren't there, then don't worry about it. But please do not assume. I had somebody say, oh yeah, digital marketing, that's only for the young people. That's not the older people. Ooh, wrong. We've got statistical evidence to prove that. My mother is 83 years old. Lifting a phone book, she's like, Helga's like 112 pounds. Going to the computer now that she has an Apple iPhone, she's not even going over to the laptop anymore. Vanguard Motors, we sell muscle cars to guys about 10 years older than I am who grew up in the 60s or 70s. We're seeing 65% of them are viewing the emails in mobile. So please do not make an assumption as an authoritarian fact that this is where they are. Why digital? Because it's business sense. Oh, if I did not mention, everybody who participates with the webinar today will get a copy of this presentation if you're registered. Stay till the end. We'll certainly email and ask us for it. I need some more coffee, or maybe less coffee. You'll get a complete copy of this presentation. So while I'm going very fast, you may go, whoa, wait, Derek, I wanted to find out this fact. How does it really apply? But here's what we're seeing. And I won't put the pointer back and forth. I know I always find that so distracting, and I'm already talking with my hands and everything, and I'm not even Italian. Don't get offended. The email marketing, according to the Direct Marketing Association, has the highest rate of return. Median, by the way, typically it's 45 to 1, but we're looking at a 21 to 23% efficacy. Telephone, just under that, which, by the way, telephone's been around for 100 years. This does not mean this is not a very, very good way. I love to talk to people on the phone. I love digital communication like this. You're also going to learn, use the tools that you like and enjoy doing. It's like getting exercise. Swimming is a great exercise. I don't swim though. I sink. It's not fun for me, and it gets in my eyes and everything. So I can be healthy and not swim. Find the media that you're comfortable. If that's writing, if that's speaking, if that's sharing other people's content, you can do that. Back to this here, the return on investment. Social media is third on the list. Direct mail is down there. Mobile, paid search. But you can pick the ones that you like and do what you do very, very well. But don't try to be all things to all people. But also being where people are. Picture back in the 50s, soap operas. Daytime television shows became huge. They were so big they called them soap because they sold laundry detergent and hand soap, because the stay-at-home mothers with the expendable income, that's where they were. Now somebody could say that's terrible, waste of time, there's no educational value, there's adultery and a debauchery, like that's on TV today, and judge that, but that's where the environment was. It's the media is neither good or bad, it's amoral. It's like a book. It can be printed for good, noble purposes or bad. You have a good business, you want to help people, meet them where they are at. So you don't get to decide, I don't get to decide where people access your content and your information. What are people doing with all these devices, and where are they? Well, let me count the ways. We've got blogs, video marketing, email marketing, social media. By the way, a good idea that you have can be repurposed multiple times. Could I take this presentation and have it transcribed, and could it be effective for people who prefer reading it? Sure. When this is available on YouTube or Vimeo or wherever it is, can this be written and everything transcribed? Fantastic. Can it be set to a podcast? Wonderful. The video components are very valuable to it, but they are not essential for me to communicate my message. Can they be posted on social media? Same thing with you. You operate no differently. Matter of fact, your business typically has advantages that my business don't. People say, Derek, your business is great, and it is. I love it. But part of the thing I love is I work harder on my client's business because of some of the bricks and mortar components and the mission that they have. So consider all of these that you have. Capturing and consuming mobile, tablets, camera, computers, YouTube, video, social media platforms. This is where people are hanging out. When I was growing up, there was three main networks on TV. If somebody said what happened on Welcome Back, Kotter, or any of these shows, a certain age group, we watched that show. That was the top of everybody's communication. Now this is segmented and niched out even more. Trying out new social channels. There's Snapchat, there's Tumblr, there's all these. Again, do not worry about these. Some of these will go away and there will be new ones. That will be okay. Do not consider that any different than newspapers will come and go in yellow pages. It's not good or bad. It's just meeting people where they are at in the best form of communication. So what do we see here? We see a lot of images coming up here and action taking place. Where are the connections of what's happening across all these social media platforms? And what can we do for you to connect these dots here so that all roads, or many roads, lead back to you and your business so people have the call to action? By the way, that's the big thing. People say, well, what do you do? Well, I'm an outsourced chief marketing officer is primary job. And then we also offer done for you or semi-customized templates so people can just take our model, pay us a little bit of money for the formula, and then they just, and the model and everything that's done, and then they just recreate and repurpose that. Or we train people to be self-sufficient marketers. So consider how you use this material and how you're able to put it to best use. Time, how much time do you devote to social media marketing? Now, do you do this stuff? Yes, but, how do you invest your time? If you have a time limit, you must know when to stop. And this is a very bad vice of this device, if I can use a little bit of alliteration here. As a business owner, whatever you do, any position here, you better value your time at least at $100 an hour. Okay, if not, you need to delegate this out to somebody else who can replicate it. So just like you wouldn't overpay for a media here, if somebody's spending more than about an hour or 90 minutes a week on all your social media, that's too much. You're losing a sense of priority, or you're doing this for entertainment value. If you're doing it for entertainment value, fantastic if you want to do that, but don't fool yourself into thinking that you're working productively. By the way, if you're paying employees, be very, very careful here to be judicious of their time, that they're using the repurposing tools so their time is being used most effectively, and with a few little clicks and hacks and strategies, doubling and tripling is not, it's like the automobile assembly line. It makes everything work. If not, it doesn't. Resources. What are your personal skills and what do you have to work with? I'm paraphrasing here. Knowledge. Do you need to train? Or train your staff to do these things? Or get a hold of the videos or have us talk to them. Your audience. Where does your audience hang out? Now, that can be a literal place. We've got psychologists or companies that we work with, and there's resources. There's churches, there's synagogues, there's environments that are able to, a percentage of the business comes there, doctors, lawyers, etc. But digitally, where are they spending their time? In the old days, we'd say their psychographics, their demographics, what's their average income, what type of TV shows do they do? Now with digital media, you have millions of dollars of resources and information at your fingertips. So if you don't know right now, you can find out where they are. Jump on the trend here. Where's your audience? Not sure? You can ask them, where are you today? Your audience. Now, this is not good or bad. You may be here and your audience is here. How can you make those overlap so you're not working any harder, but you're working smarter? So where are you today? Are you in your audience, and are you trying to do too much, or do you need to do more, or do you need to uncover some of your brilliant knowledge and information and channel that in the right direction? What's next? Choose your next channel, but consider your time, resources, and knowledge. Content marketing is more important than ever. People are looking for information. It used to be a slogan, an educated consumer is the best consumer. Nowadays, people are getting educated. They are getting more knowledgeable. What is content marketing? Content marketing is strategic marketing approach focused on creating and distributing valuable, relevant, and consistent content. We could also add entertaining here as being a valuable component here to attract and retain clearly defined audience and ultimately to drive profitable customer action. There's nothing wrong with charging money and collecting fees for what you do. That's what makes the world go around. But that does need to be earned by providing, again, good, valuable content and giving people the opportunity to even communicate. It's fantastic too, by the way, when you get this right, you'll find that the best prospects are almost working harder to find you than you are them. It's just a golden mix when the right client goes, where have you been? I go, I've been trying to find you. And you go, this is fantastic. Let's see what we can do to grow your business. So why focus on content marketing? Here's some important facts. 57% of purchase decisions are made before a customer talks to a supplier. Now, this could be in a business-to-business environment, but this can be about important things like surgery, heart surgery, back surgery. Somebody senses they have a problem or they feel they have a disease. They start researching this ahead of time and they want to find out. I've worked with a lot of realtors over the years. There used to be a time when you'd say, it's 6 months in advance between when somebody decides to sell their house and it actually sells. And it's going to happen a lot longer than 6 months between when somebody decides that they need to buy or sell a home, doing the research, then actually calling in a professional real estate broker to make a decision, market that house, and then actually have it sell. If that's done in 90 days, that's considered very, very fast. So the preparation, the thought process, and the education starts much longer before that. By the way, it's also respectful of your time. If people can see and answer and get basic questions or maybe questions they're uncomfortable with. They're going to go, I'm going to back surgery. How much does this hurt? How long am I off work? Questions that a doctor, and if you're a doctor, great, but if you're a lawyer or a CPA or any professional, people deserve to ask these questions, but you may just hear them so often that you're not always have the best bedside manner or empathetic approach to answering that. So it's respectful of them. They don't feel intimidated. They can get comfortable getting the information. This is a great quote. And guys, if you've seen this before, please don't dust it off, okay? Hockey legend great Wayne Gretzky said, "Some people skate to the puck. I skate to where the puck is going." So the average player, even above it, sees the puck. I don't know much about hockey, but they go there. He knew to go where the puck is going by body language, by motion. Is it going this way? Is it going sideways? Is it going forward? Is it going backward? Where's it going? So this has been repeated over and over again. But here's a more telling quote. The late great Steve Jobs said, "There's an old," this was old. He's still a relatively young man in this picture. "There's an old Wayne Gretzky quote that I love. I skate to where the puck is going to be, but not where it's been. And we've always tried to do that at Apple since the very beginning, and we always will." So Wayne Gretzky, this wasn't 100,000, whatever, a long time ago where there's a lot of truisms. He said this, I guess, 30, 40 years ago. Steve Jobs probably said that 20 years ago, but is a truism that we all should and can. Let me see. So Google that or get that or hang that up. Get it from my presentation here. So content is a dance. 1, 2, cha 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 cha. Well, I can't sing or dance, but it's the rhythms and rhymes of our lives. And here's what you look at. You have your audience, and this is your best prospects, suspects, influencers. We want you to consider too also people who are influencers. They may not buy your product or services themselves, but they can be vendors, they could be past customers. Who's referring you business? Who's endorsing you? Who's doing this? So who's your audience? We talk about agony. This is their pain point. This is their discomfort. Do they have a problem? Is there a fear of loss? What's doing that? What's the attraction for your business? I have an attraction model. I have a proposal where we go, here's the deal. If I want to do a good job for you, if I can double your money in 30, 60, or 90 days, is that doing a good job? Now, I won't take a client that I can't guarantee that and I can't see that happening. And usually, sometimes, gosh, it's a whole lot more than that. But if somebody says, for every dollar I invest, you're going to double my money, that's not good enough. Well, then I'm going to go find somebody else who will guarantee that the list is pretty short. So what's the attraction? What's the mutual respect of what people are doing in their business? And what's the alignment? What's the alignment in values? I want to communicate that to my business. If you are not passionate about your business, and I'm not saying winning a Nobel Prize or anything, but if you don't have the energy and believe that what you're selling, the services that are valuable, are good and valuable for the people who are doing, then don't listen to my stuff. Don't consume my content. We are not going to be simpatico. If you're just punching the clock because your boss told you to, yeah, go talk to a talking head somewhere. And then most importantly, what's the action? What is the action that's taking? Where is the dance being made? Where is the sale being consummated? So always look. This is nothing new. You have your audience. Who are you trying to reach? Okay, we call them high value targets, HVTs, high value targets. What are the best prospects? Sometimes this is hard, but a HVT, a high value target, is very, very important. Their decision-making process come from understanding your audience. How would you explain quantum physics? Well, there's matter and particles and energy and force that comes in. That's everything I know about quantum, just about. How would you communicate this to any given audience, be them young, old, be they married, be they single? What is their agony? Okay, what is their and there's agony here, and sales trainers, and I've done this here. People will do more out of fear. I also like to appeal to people's pride. Are they doing a good job? Are you being all you can be? What are the pain points for your audience? What do they want? Where's there an opportunity? Where's there a motivation? What do they need? What are their likes? What are their dislikes? And what are their desires? And there's something for everybody. It's not just price. I'll give an example. In the town that I am in here in Southeast Michigan, there's a water store where I can get gallons of reverse osmosis water for 30 cents a gallon. $1.50, I get this great healthy water. I like it, but $1.50 for 5 gallons. There's a Costco that sells a case for $1.99. There's a refrigerator where you can buy one bottle. I think I'll take this. Go ahead, take a sip of your coffee too, please. You and you and you. I can't actually see you, so I'm not. But if I did, enjoy. Good. So I was saying at Costco they have a thing where they have a vending machine where they sell it for 25 cents. Well, just like 2 football fields across the street, there's a 7-Eleven that sells, I don't think you can get a bottle of water for under $1.25. They are all good businesses and they all meet. And the place that sells the water for 30 cents is not necessarily a less successful. As a matter of fact, they may be more highly profitable because of what they're doing. So find the right market for what you're selling to. Also, know what causes them the most agony or disappointment. Is it ego? Is it financial? Is it pride? Is it desire for gain? Fear of loss? These are things we can help you through. Oh, and be their trusted source. These are all in 60 minutes here. You're going to get like 6 hours worth of content. So be patient and take time to absorb this afterwards, because I'd hate to just take your time and then not have you follow up or do anything. And we'll get a chance to talk. So you have the attraction here. Uh, this there can be pretty pictures of girls. There can be handsome images of men. There can be cute puppy dogs. There can be wonderful looking babies here. What's going to attract somebody's eye here? What's going to a graphic design that's appealing? Get their attention and move them towards the next step. Where can you find your audience and your new unique POV or point of value? Point of value. Whole seminar right there. And your agreement, provide educational value. Educational is important. Entertaining, motivational is very good. Share your business beliefs, approach, and values. Okay, is it all organic? Is it all green, user-friendly, healthy, nutritional? Work those point of value POV. When I got involved in the business, it was called a unique selling proposition, still is. Weed out those who aren't the right fit, and then look for a point of action or decision making. By the way, some of these terms, I don't have a slide up for this, but let me hold up this book, 22828. This is a book I published called The Book of Marketing. It has over 600 terms, and I know it drives me nuts if I talk to a physician or an accountant or a builder, and they start, a building term is 16 on center, which means 16 inches on center. There's a book of terms here. This is the print version. Write this down. If you text Rogue, 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 to 22828, you will get a free copy of this book. Now, guys, there's 2 points of view. If you're already watching this, I have your communication, so you already opted in. We have a relationship. Fantastic. If you're not, well, this is another way I have to opt in. You can opt out if there's a fair trade, but it's valuable information. In your constant contact, this tool is available for you for free. So it's another great example of content marketing and using it. So my gift to you, but use these strategies for your own. It may not be a book, but it can be a menu, an infographic, a chart, a recording, an interview you've done with somebody. All things we're gladly happy to teach you how to do if you don't know already how to do it. And don't feel bad if you don't. I had to learn from some very smart, wonderful people myself. Focus on prospecting and taking action, the action you want them to take. A better educated prospect is a better prospect. It's nice to get clients fast when you can, but if it happens too fast, that's usually where assumptions are made and disasters can occur. Provide remaining information prospects need to take your desired ask questions. Frequently asked questions are very good to post, and frequently rejected objections. What if I get it home and I decide this isn't right for me? What happens there? What if my spouse doesn't like it? What if my business partner doesn't like it? What if this becomes outdated? These are all good objectives to take. People can ask about our software here. What if it becomes outdated? Well, it's in the cloud, so it's constantly being updated. It's not a disk or something that's changed or you have to buy an update. It's done automatically. Good question. Object answered, resolved, go on. If they don't buy, keep in touch. That's where 80% of the sales are anyways, in the follow-up and the contact. Jump on the trend. Define your audience. By the way, most of you already have this. I can talk to you about who's in your email list, who's available on your social media. This can be put together in a matter of a couple hours, but it's already there. If you're totally start up, there's a little bit of research to be done, but define your audience. Outline their pain points for your audience, or I like to say the opportunity. Attraction, get their attention with valuable and relevant content. Alignment, provide educational value, share beliefs, benefits, approach, values, weed out those who do it. Here's an interesting thing. Do not think you have to write a book or come up with every answer today. Okay, you do this, and we have another workshop on content, but just answer this question for me. What was the last challenge or question you had from a good prospect? Write that down. Say, why are you at this price? Or what are your terms? Answer that question. Now, record that content, and later today you're going to think of something else. Somebody will say something else to you that will inspire you. And each day, just like exercising or brushing our teeth or going to bed at night or showering, these new things will come to you, and they're done in baby steps. Nobody wrote a dictionary in one day or a book or developed a digital trend marketing program for their company. It doesn't happen. It didn't happen for geniuses, and it doesn't happen for people like you and me. Provide the remaining information to follow up and contact. You have your audience. You're going to target segmentation and personalization. So you have your whole width of audience. So let's just say these are people in your email list. This could be 10. This could be 100, 1,000, and they all have different strategies. A lot of times when you get started, just everybody's in one general list. Ideally, you can segment these. A restaurant owner can have a breakfast club, a business lunch crowd, a happy hour crowd, a Thursday college night, a Tuesday date night crowd, a Sunday morning Bloody Mary get over a hangover, and then an after church crowd for breakfast. So there's something for everybody. You could say the same for a professional practice or industrial supplier. How does each segment look? Regular customers or donors, seasonal customers, VIP, board members, new customers. How are they treated? How are they communicated with? The key is to getting started, have a welcome program, have your Facebook post. As you progress, you're going to be able to segment these out. They will define themselves because you will be able to, we'll show you in your digital, I'm sorry, well, it's digital, of course, but in your analytics toolbox, you can actually see who's opening your emails, who's doing it, who's following this information. So if somebody keeps clicking on poodles, that's a good indication where to go. If you're in the computer business and they keep clicking on a certain computer or a screen or a medical service or a providing or a donor level, you can get the facts in terms of what they are interested in. How we receive messages in marketing via social media, how many messages we receive, approximately 264 impressions per day. Look, you could add a 0 to that. There's huge amounts of information that people are getting. That's not bad. I've got 74 slides here that you're going to see. So if that's part of, that brings you down to 190, who cares? You're smart enough, you're going to absorb it all. And so will your best prospects. How many messages so you don't become part of the noise? 40% of consumers buy from retailers who have personalized shopping experience across channels. So that's why smaller businesses have advantages over a lot of big businesses, because their buying curve is much shorter. They don't have to buy things 8, 9 months, 12 months in advance. Personalized information just by saying, hey, good morning, Mary. Good morning, Bob. Good morning, Derek. Raul, Diane, I see is on the program here. There's a name Ramirez too. The personalizing this is something that is just familiar. It's a very, very good way to do it, and it doesn't cost extra to do that. 50% of consumers are more likely to shop with good personalized experience. By the way, you're going to retain them too by doing that. A big percentage of people will leave you if they just feel it's indifferent. 76% of consumers will share personal information with a brand if they believe it will improve their experience and interaction. Sure, my son is really into computers, and from certain wholesalers and everything, he gets more information. He likes that. It's valuable for them. We all have our favorite information that we want to get. Are we going to cover everything on this list? No, but you should do this yourself, or we talk offline. Look at this: demographics, the name and address, the interest of your information, buying and giving behavior. We work with churches, we work with nonprofits. Do people give annually to your program? Do they give weekly? Do they give monthly? There's all standard norms that can be used, or there's many instances where the norms can be challenged. Well, rather than giving once a year a big amount, how about we break it into 10 or 12 equal payments that just go on for multiple years? Good deal for the donor, even a better deal for the institution. Events to attend, communicate behavior, social media, devices or methods. You do this right, again, the information is repurposed, and you can have your emails automatically posted to social media, automatically available to share. Yes, it's posted on yours, but here's what's really important. If you tool this right, a certain percentage of your people will take your message and they'll share it on their social media. So do you understand? It becomes a referral. This is a trend. We all have people who like they post all day long. I'm not one of those people, but God bless them. And you and I want them to share content, especially if it's yours or mine. Do it. Do a lot of it. Use this information. You have email list segmentation. Autoresponders are very important. We've got a whole presentation on it, but just wake up to the fact that your email system, your social media system can and should be actively, if somebody goes to your website, they click on something, they get an email. It doesn't matter whether you're on vacation, sick, sad, depressed, happy, ecstatic, they are being communicated with on a regular basis. Once you set that up, you can set it, well, don't forget it, but it goes off. And also, by the way, you can't be doing this in real time. It's not cost effective. You have your customers and VIPs, reward loyalty programs, exceptional customer service. All of these are brainstorming ideas, guys. Okay. Don't think that they're not appropriate for your business. If you want to think that way because you're going to do something else that's more direct, fantastic. Do that, but take action. Do that, take action. Talk to me about it. But don't think any of these don't apply for you. I'm sorry, guys, that's ignorant and that's short-sighted to believe that. Look at the trend, not that you have to be at the bleeding edge or the cutting edge, but just get on top of the wave and enjoy it, okay? Unless you're a real high-techy person and you're going to project ahead and maybe be willing to take a few risks. But look, social media is not going to go away. Digital media is not going to go away. Smartphones are not going to go away, not in any time in the near future. In the future, maybe we're going to have plasma thing and we'll look through glass or something else, but attend that seminar next week. Find the places to automate your programs. This is digital trends here. Develop special events and offers to segment your list. Make sure your mobile experience is productive. Here's what we're seeing here. We have another presentation here, but you'll be 80% of the way by using your mobile-friendly templates. You can have one that's optimized here. This is not a sales presentation. We have a free consultation, free. If you need a mobile optimized thing, home office charges $197 if they still do it. We do it for $47, and it is kick butt. It's really good. But anyhow, 51%, and you can see in your own module, the people are reading their emails on their smartphone. It's really cool too. If you have the link in right, they can also hit the button and dial the phone number right out. 64% of adults own a mobile. I think that number is up. And the average number of times per day is 150 times they are checking their phone. For some people, they're not wearing watch. I do. I'm old school. I don't have it on right now, but typically I do wear a watch because I just think it's cool and I think it's rude. It's rude to check your watch time too, but picking up a phone is just not a good habit. But this is what people are doing, and if you're there, fantastic, and you should be there. I am. Mobile has changed our behavior. This is a functionality, how people read your post. Make sure they're mobile friendly. Put maps in there. I had a meeting yesterday. Great guy, and this is to market a local theater group. And we're saying, how do we help the sponsors? There's people that are sponsoring this theater just because they're theater people. They want to do it, but they're business owners. And we said, well, why don't we put the sponsors not just in the program, but in the sponsors' emails? And then within the emails, how about we put a link? And they're saying, yeah, it doesn't cost any extra, but it brings up huge greater value to these sponsors. And by the way, from my perspective, okay, and I'm all about making money and everything, but these sponsors deserves to be treated better. They should, if they're donating 1,000 or 10,000, the one big sponsor is $10,000 a year. Why shouldn't, it's an insurance company, why shouldn't they sell more insurance policies because of that good action? That's fair, right? So right now we're looking at ways there to treat them very, very well. Put maps, put links into your business. Big problem. I go nuts when people do not put map links to their brick and mortar place of business. They say, oh, everybody knows where we're at. You could be there for 40 years. There's new people moving into town. Signs go up. Just put a map in there. It just makes it easier for everybody. Their friend coming from across town 10 miles away or whatever. Just put the map in there, and you do it on your printed material too. That's one of the reasons people have said I'm worth my weight in gold. That's just, thank you. I didn't say that, but doing the simple things habitually. 80% of people are using smartphones to find locations, the GPS system. Local searches lead to purchases at a 2 times higher rate. That's not hard. You're in a strange city. You Google a restaurant, you look up information, you go to what you know. 50% of store visits happen within an hour of local search. Yeah, you talk about the pain point or the opportunity point. A lady has a run in her nylons and she needs to get those replaced. Somebody chips their tooth and they need to find a dentist right away. They're motivated consumers. There's 1,000 other examples that this would be applicable to. 78% of searches results of local purchase are conducted on mobile phones. Yeah, people are mobile. Even if they're not mobile, they're still, my kids are like that. And I'm not saying the kids are lazy. I guess I do this. Yeah, instead of getting up and walking over to their desktop computer, they're sitting down on their couch and Googling it from there, even if they're at home, in bed, wherever. 75% of people will delete the emails that they can't read, and they won't tell you this, but somebody looks at something and they go, they can't read it. It's a blur to them. It's confusing. We'll have you out of here in an hour, by the way, guys. Don't worry. I don't like it when people push the time. They find the information where they're at and they'll unsubscribe. And that's okay if they're not good prospects, but if they're good prospects, it's not good business. So avoid these mistakes. Too much text. And by the way, this just means you can, and once a week is not too much, by the way. If you have decent customers, probably more often, but let's just say once a week is not too much. Take the same content and break it into 2 emails, 2 or 3 days or a week apart. Multiple columns. A few years ago, that was great. Here's a column here, here's a column here. In a mobile device, it makes it very awkward to do. Images. People say, I want a big image, or I've got photographers or graphic artists, and they're very proud of their work. But if it's too large, it's not optimal. I think on the screen it's 640 by 640 pixels. But just look at the optimization button. If you go larger than that, you'll see half a picture. Not good. Tiny fonts. 11-point font tends to work very good for text. 22-point font for headlines. Tiny just becomes hard to read. They go, yeah, well, they expand it. You can stretch. Yeah, you can stretch it out, but let's not make people work that hard. Hard to read or find are calls to action. Calls to action above the fold. Above the fold goes on your computer. Here's like the fold. I got that right here. Here's the fold. Below the fold, you can't see it. You have to scroll up, 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 up. That's less valuable real estate. And understand real estate value, homes and buildings in this town versus homes and buildings on the other side have more value. In a retail stuff, way in the back of the room is not as valuable as right there on top of the counter, the point of purchase sales here. So above the fold is more valuable, below the fold here. So have your calls to action above that supportive content below, and you'll scroll. Enough of that. Make mobile work for your business. 70% want mobile coupons. Mobile coupons, discounts, referrals work. Trackable coupon action. By the way, for coupons, it's a whole other conversation, but this does not have to be bad economics for you. Coupons should be very favorable economics for people, and there's a strategy for how to work that. But also if you have sales, unless you say it's a past inventory or so, sell and coupon good products that are valuable, not your junk. You may sell out stuff right away, but sell stuff that people want. Use Facebook promotions. Use that, by the way, on your Facebook page. Use the Join My List app. You don't get a lot, but the quality is great, for somebody who does that. Opt-in is wonderful. People liking you on Facebook. Check in to do this. it's hard to measure that initially to be able to see that, but they all have value. They all have a value in the long run. So asking for those, putting those links in time, they will accumulate. Customer content and reviews. Let people leave reviews. Have them communicate. Even if they're bad, react to it in a positive way. Mobile advertising, you've got Pinterest, pins, Google local inventory ads, Facebook carousel ads, Instagram sponsored ads. Those are different subjects. Before you start using the paid media to do that, get the other non-paid stuff done well. And by the way, paid is not bad. Free is not always good. If you can buy clicks for fractions of a penny worth of business, it could be some of the smartest decisions you have and free your time up. So I do that type of media for our clients. I don't make money doing that, but there's this habit in our society sometimes where people go, free is good and paid is bad. Not always true. Businesses run, you get better service if you pay. Jump on the trend and free. Sometimes anyway, balance it out. And use some wisdom and discernment. If you're paying for something, go, what do I get? What do I get for free? What do I not? What is your mobile experience? Send your latest email or your coupon to yourself, and does it look good? Not only does it look good there, but can you read it? Can you see? Can you read the word coupon or discount or click here because you can truly read it, or because you know that's what it says? Try sending the coupon to a targeted mobile list. See what the response is. Consult, can you create a service around your mobile optimization? Absolutely you can. Now, beyond big data and making decisions, let's consider this. This is funny. Sales, shaved heads. We found the correlation in the data. Everyone take a razor. Sales are going up because shaved heads. Probably depending on the season. If the ladies are shaving their legs, the warm weather, they're perhaps shaving more. Data isn't important for data's sake. It's important for helping to ask better questions and make better decisions. I have occasionally I'll speak to SCORE. I've had some retired executives, some brilliant people, and they talk about the effectiveness of the direct mail. And I said, look, I love direct mail. I came from a print media background, and I was not there to discourage them. Matter of fact, I was there to encourage them to do that. But they gave an example of they had 10,000 mailers that went out, and they had 5 salespeople, full-time salespeople that would follow up on the leads. So each salesperson had about 200 prospects. Okay, I'm sorry, 2,000 prospects. And I explained to the sales manager, I said, look, I understand salespeople, there's a fine line between being lazy and working hard and working smart. I said, but sending the same number of emails in support of their direct mail, if you take the 2,000 people and let's say 20% opened and clicked, just for example. So 2,000 now becomes 400. If those people are clicking, would that make sense to follow up with them with another email? Or would it be maybe right to pick up the phone and make a phone call? Or if they're in the neighborhood, I'm talking about wholesale, big sale, to drop by? Is that knowledge now, instead of just 2,000 cold calls, to break it down to 400 or 200 or the top 50? Is that working smart? So you can see what people are clicking on and what they're doing. Now, I don't recommend you tell them. If you say, hey, Judy, at 3:30 in the morning last night, I noticed you downloaded the click point. Occasionally in a workshop, I'll say, somebody registered at 3 in the morning. They go, yeah, I couldn't sleep, and we'll poke fun of it. But if not, people think you're a little weird, or you're looking and seeing them. You're just seeing their digital footprint. Data is everywhere. So you understand that practical use to be able to do that. That can make a huge difference right there. That's information that's worth like $1,000 an hour to it totally changed the way they do business. Demographics, in-person, online, point of sale, event, registration, open clicks, reviews. Review this information and you will get smart really quick. Like, shares, comments. Put this all together, the data information. You have your website. Use your opt-in link. It can say join our list, join our mailing list, join our disc. I like to be more creative and write compelling reasons. Find out how to save X% or this, or get double the value from what you have. How to get double the value from the next dress you buy from our superstore. Or 10 ways to feel better about the donation here. Click here, download this information, enter in your email address. We'll never spam you, et cetera, et cetera. What's the experience so that you can follow up with them? You have social media, you can be followed there. How do you measure this? Clicks and downloads. I gave you the example of the book giveaway. And by the way, that could be one chapter, that could be one thing, it could be sliced and diced different. Visits to your store, links. I use a online appointment schedule. Somebody needs to talk with me in person for 15 minutes, 30 minutes. Private clients, it's an hour, usually once a month, twice a month. They have an online scheduling system. They just follow that link, they do that. Calls. How are you measuring this? Generating revenue or donations. The magic happens, the 2 and 2 can equal more than 4. The magic happens when you use the data to make decisions. High open rate and a low click-through rate. Here's what this can indicate here. Well, first off, there's opportunities to fix and correct things. There's also opportunities to, we're going to go just a few minutes over, so bear with me here. To measure that and study that. So what's your open rate? Get used to seeing that. It's not going to be 100%, by the way. 20% is generally pretty good. We can show you how to improve that to maybe 30 or 40%, but work with what you have and then work to improve it. So find the best time of day, identify keywords, have a strong call to action, keep it mobile friendly. You have a low open rate and a high click-through rate. Watch your timing and your frequency. Write strong subject lines. This week's newsletter could be maybe a little more exciting. Think of a better title. Brainstorm this. Send relevant, engaging content. High click-through rate. Make sure you have a good format in your email. 3 tips for using all the data. Beware of vanity stats like opens or reach. Always dig deeper to look for the data from for the points to customer actions and intentions that relate to your business goals. Start small. Track the effectiveness of and the tactics of contents that you're learning. Be willing to admit that you're wrong. Be willing to admit that landscape and environment can change. Do more of what works. When you find a winning game plan, follow that. Jump on the trends. Determine what the numbers really matter for your business, your real business results. Look at the numbers over time, not to just determine a snapshot, determine what cycles and trends and your baseline. Based on the numbers of their performance over time and your business goals, choose 1 or 2 tactics and pursue and track the results. By the way, I have a saying where we have a meeting, we say, okay, let's go over this, let's look at your assets, let's look at your strengths and weakness. And I say, well, what worked so well in the past that you stopped doing it? And it's kind of an oxymoron statement. What worked so well in the past that we stopped doing it? We all have some errors like that, where something works really well and then we get distracted. Do these habit consistencies. Wrapping things up, digital marketing is your audience. You want to supply them good content. Personalization is important. Meet them where they're at. If you're passionate, if you're hungry, if you're ambitious, you're in the right place. If you're not, go away. Mobile. Just beyond big data, where's their resources and information? Our website is fantastic. It's not the only source, but there's some wonderful free resources that you can have. There's other videos that you can look at, other webinars that are being put on there. A big hero of mine growing up was Bruce Lee. He's a movie star, martial artist, extraordinary. And he says, knowing is not enough. We must be willing to apply. Willing is not enough. We must do. We must do. Take this information. I have not served my purpose here unless you take this and you utilize this today and tomorrow. Of course, if you don't start utilizing this right away, you will forget 65% of it by tomorrow. 2 hours from now, you will forget half of this. So everything is fresh in your mind. I told you earlier here, this is not a sales pitch. Here's what you have for free. We will do a 30-minute review, but that's only if you contact us today or tomorrow. The link will come up in a moment. I won't go over everything here. If you're new to Constant Contact, we will set you up with a free account or a low-cost paid. I think it's like $20 or something. Not a big decision there, lady, gentlemen, okay? And it's money back guarantee, whatever. $47 for this. I will give you 30 minutes of my time. The link is here to follow. Again, $47 for the mobile template, 30 minutes here. We have a checklist of information that we have. If you have specific things you want to work on, that's fine. We operate on your agenda. If not, we can operate on my agenda. I've got some very good click points that will be valuable for you. But if you have another agenda, that's fantastic. This is the click here at roguemarketingsystems.com contact. Again, this will pop up here shortly. And if you go right here to the constant contact first kickstart call, you will see my calendar, a fantastic tool. And just take action today or tomorrow latest. If not, the offer goes away. I'm not like a call service here. Take action here. If you're not available to meet or to talk in whatever, I think you have up to 10 days or whatever to take action. Schedule it for a time and day that makes sense for you. And let's roll up our sleeves and get to work. So here's the 30-day Kickstart program. You're going to have the link. I appreciate your time and action. I wish we got to think of your favorite song. What? I don't have it here. Where's my sound engineer? I'm going here. I'm all alone. Help me out. Derek Freund, Rogue Marketing Systems. Our contact information. I will talk to you later today. Sorry we didn't have time for more specific questions, but until next time, we'll talk to you. Get this information and go out and go to work. Thank you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and that person back there, and go away. And now look at